Hello guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Kyle.
And today we are playing 1500 points of Imperial Guard versus Death Guard.
Yeah. Guardy.
So guard off. Who's going to be the winner? Imperium or Chaos? Who knows? So today we are playing Vital Intelligence from the GT mission pack.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's about it. It is dominations that are taking hold, so it's going to be a little bit of a tricky one, I think.
Yeah, trying to get them 15 points could be a bit of a tough ride, but definitely gonna work.
We'll have to see.
Work my niggly magic.
Ooh, we're misses. Right then, so I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else. You'll see a subscribe button down in this bottom corner. Can you please hit it? That'd be lovely. And with that, let's go see the armies. Yeah. So this is my 1500 points of Imperial Guard. Starting with my tank commander. He is an executioner plasma cannon, and I've given him the tank ace weapon expert, which makes his weapon -4. Moving over, I have Knight Commander Pask. That's right, guys, this time I am running Cadian. Arcadia stands. As you can see, they are literally WYSIWYG. They have heavy bolt sponsons. I've got another tank commander with a battle cannon as is, so just a hull-mounted heavy bolter. And then on my heavy support choice, I've got another executioner plasma cannon, again without sponsons. Moving over to my elite choice, I have a Tech Priest Engine Seer to kind of repair these. So that's what I'm hoping to do with this geezer. Then moving over, I have 3 squads of guardsmen. They just literally come standard, no upgrades, and they will be in these chimeras that have heavy flamer and flamer. Moving over to my fast attack, I have a Hellhound with a heavy flamer and the Inferno cannon. And then finally, I have 2 heavy weapon squads, one with mortars, one with heavy bolters. And that's literally it for my 1500 points. All the points are in tanks, so we're going to hopefully be able to kill my opponent. My secondaries are Engage on All Fronts, Assassinate, and While We Stand We Fight. These tank commanders have to hold their own. Right guys, that is my 1500 points. Let's move over to the Death Guard.
So guys, this is my 1,500 points of Death Guard today. The Plague company is Mortarion's Anvil. I'm using some of the Warlord traits, but we'll go into that in a moment. The Warlord is the Demon Prince with the wings. I have given him Arch-Contaminator as the Warlord trait and the Suppressing Plate as the Relic, giving him a 2-up armor save, and the Warlord trait is reroll play weapons. Absolutely vital in my opinion. Going into the second HQ slot is the Lord of Contagion. I have burnt 2 CP on the Relic and the Warlord trait, giving him the Reaper of Glorious Entropy, a personal favourite, which basically means his Power Fist, quotation marks, is hitting on 2s rather than 3s, with a bit of a mortal wound output as well. And it is the Gloating Bloat Warlord trait I have given him as well, which is Mortarion's Anvil specific one, which basically shuts down rerolls to hit and to wound auras, and with obviously his aura being slightly better because he's a Contagion Lord, it might be quite handy, especially with Arcadia being the reroll that hits. Going on to the troop, I have a 16-man Poxwalker and then a 10-man Poxwalker. Lord Gimpy of Gimperton, this guy here, if you watched enough of this Death Guard stuff, you'll get what I'm on about. He's heading at the front of this. And then rounding off the troop, it is a 5-man Plague Marines. The Lord does have a Power Fist, but I have not paid for it. And then I've got a little Spew Cannon at the back just there. Going on to fast attack, I have got 2 spawns today. I have burnt another CP to give them Grandfatherly Influence, which gives them Disgusting Resilience, and another Toughness, I do believe. Pretty vital, makes them a little bit more beasty, especially when they're running 20 something points. They're just a very good harassing unit. Going on to the Bloat drone with the Flamers again, the Plague Flamers. Again, with the guys to the squishy men on Jimmy's over there, I think it's quite vital. And then we shall go to the elites. My all-faithful Terminators, the Blight Lord and the Death Shroud, absolutely brutal. They've just served me very well in the past, and then hopefully they'll do the same again. Again, they've got axes, the mace, and then obviously these guys have the beautiful, nasty million-shotted wound in Reaper Blades. Rounding off the elite, I have the Plague Surgeon, giving them a bit of a feel no pain. In the good old days, hopefully it will serve me well. And then rounding off, the normal battalion I've got going on here is the Plague Burst Crawler. Could be good, could be not. Swinging weapons are not my forte, but if he's bringing a tank or tanks, I'm going to bring one too. And then the new guy, the Furnace, with his little guy just down there. Never used him before. Personally, from the rules, think he's pretty decent, giving them cover and contagion across the board. Hopefully making some of these tanks toughness 7 and the troop toughness 2. Should be able to mince them up pretty easy. Whether or not it survives is another matter because of a new model syndrome. Secondaries, what have I done? Spread the Sickness is a Death Guard specific one, which is all about the objectives. There's quite a few on this board, so I should be able to get a few down the line. Thin their ranks. It's a pretty no-brainer in my opinion on this one. Getting a point for every tank popped, and then his guard, quite easy to take, especially when they're toughness 2. And bring it down again, being nerfed slightly, so it's 2 victory points for every tank now with 11 more wounds, I do believe. But he has a lot. I think if I can take out all the tanks, I think it's 13 out of 15. And let's face it, you're not going to sniff at that. And that is everything, I do believe. Burning 3 CP, so starting with 9. So 2 are burnt on the Warlord and the Relic on my Lord Contagion, and then 1 on the spawns down there. So that is everything. Let's do this. Let's get on with the game. So this is the usual part where Jimmy talks about terrain, but it is now me, Kyle. We're not going to go over terrain because you guys should know by now since it's been a good few months. What I'm going to talk about is this geezer, the Furnace, and his little mate mini Furnace. The rules are a little unclear. What it states in his rules is within basically 12 inch of deployment of the enemy deployment, I can deploy it anywhere, so in the basic in the centre over here. We've measured it, it's 12 inch from there, and then this guy can be within 6 inch of this guy, so that's how that's going to work. This guy gives light cover, heavy cover, basically it's got virtually every keyword going. Just to let you know, if anyone doesn't know, it has contagion range of 4, so it's the max inches away, and it gives everything light cover. If you're in cover, it's -1 to hit, so it's a lovely jubbly little thing. The issue is regarding it deploying within 3 inches of a terrain piece. Some people say you can, some people say you can't. It's not very clear, so what we've done is, because how you could do it is you could potentially block avenues, which kind of I have. We've gone with a rule where that's okay. Feel free to let us know if this is wrong or right. Jimmy's fine with it. So that's kind of all that really matters right now. It's a little bit obscure because of the rules, but we'll go with the fact that this is allowed in this game. And we're fairly confident that this is the right move. I don't want to win on cheating, as it's so called, but hey ho. So that is that. Just kind of covering it up just in case you guys message down below. Please enlighten me if you no piece of knowledge I don't. But as far as we read, it is okay. Right, so we'll get the dice and we'll go for the roll-off. Good luck, Mr. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Please proceed to roll the dice.
Who will take first turn? Probably me at this rate.
Yep.
It looks like Imperial Guard. Turn 1. So my end of my movement and command phase. Command phase, I have gained a command point, so I'm back up to 12. Very nice. Movement. These guys have all moved up 3 inches because I want to double fire their weapons. This guy's moved up 10, which has put him in range of this here. And then this guy, I advanced 6 inches, so I had to drive through this terrain piece, which has gained him, I think we measured it, he's just within this one here. These lovely heavy bolters can just about make out the first squad of Poxwalkers out of the squad of 16 and 10, so they can shoot the 10. These guys literally have wherever they want to shoot on the board. And then for now, I've just held this back because of his turn to Deep Strike. And plus, I want to see what happens over here. At least then it gives me flexible options to run like a little girl. For now, I have thrown this unit up onto the 5, just so that I should be hopefully getting some kind of domination over on these ones. Right, I think we're going to go straight into the shooting phase, so we'll see you in a moment.
First round of shooting. Off camera was the mortar team, which is hidden behind the red building, into Sir Gimpy's 16-man squad, managing to kill just 2 Poxwalkers. Jimmy has deployed a stratagem called
Overlapping fields of fire. Because they're in cover, my thinking is I don't want a -1 to hit, so that kind of negates it. It's 2 CP. I know they're only Poxwalkers, but I want to get rid of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, with regards to some of the stratagems they can do, they can chew up tanks quite easily, which is a bit bonkers. So it could possibly be very beneficial. So what's next?
We'll do them off camera, but I'm going to do the heavy bolters into the 10-man squad because that's all I can see.
Okie dokie. The heavy bolter team clinking 3 Poxwalkers out of this front unit there. Next up, it is the tank at the back, shooting its heavy bolters into the Poxwalkers and its big nasty plasma into the Plague Burst Crawler.
So, I am hitting on 4s. Not good. No rerolls. And then wounding you on 3s. No, nothing. So the heavy bolter was a waste. 2d6 for the cannon. For 7.
Okay.
So, 7. Hitting you on 4s. Oh, that's not good.
It's a 4.
Is that a 4? Yay! Oh, only 3. Oh dear. Oh dear. And winning you on...
What strength is it?
Strength 7, so I'm technically winning you on 5s. None.
Okay.
Cool. Right, I'll have a little think.
Next up, it is the Chimera shooting all its heavy flamers and, well, the Inferno Cannon into the back Gimpy squad.
Yeah, the ones that are in cover, we might as well. Like I said, I want to try and get rid of the big squad. So we are hitting. Oh, well, not hitting. We are seeing how many shots we get. So 5 whole shots. No, 4 shots.
1 add 2 add 1 is 4.
3s. 2 minus redonkulous, so your thing is
just 2.
Yeah, no 3. Sorry, 3.
I was going to say I'm sure they'll 3. 6 is nope.
Nope.
Another 4. 4. Wow, bad maths on ours. Can't count to 3. 3 are dead.
So I should mention I have done Gunner's Kill on Sight for all these 3 here because they're all tank commanders in their own right. I'm going to shoot my tank, my actual Warlord first. So the heavy bolters are going to go into the squad that's behind cover, so Gimpy's squad. And then his cannon is going to go into the Plague Burst Crawler. I am electing to overcharge this. I know that 2 damage isn't going to do a lot because he's going to negate the 2 damage. I'm also burning 2 CP for Hail of Fire, so I'm getting 12 shots with it. But I do have the Weapon Expert things, tank case, so I am getting a -4 gun going to a -5.
So it'd be straight to my demon saves. Well, I guess the reason is you overcharge as well. It's strength 8, so it's forced through rather than 5s.
Yeah.
So there's that point. And obviously, 1's are mortal wounds, but you get to reroll 1s. So the likelihood is you're not really gonna. So let's do this.
Yep, right. I will start with the big cannon on top.
Okie
Let's make it
dokie.
fun.
Yeah.
So hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Which is a good thing I'm rerolling 1s.
Probably is.
Yep.
So 2 fail.
2 there.
That's pretty good.
Now I just need all these to be 4s or higher, and we are laughing all the way to the mic. No, that's not good. I think that's 2. That is 2. 2 demon saves.
So 1 goes through.
Yeah, 1 damage.
1 damage off the crawler. So Pask, heavy bolters into Gimpy's squad, and unfortunately Gimpy has failed. Stupid Warlord! He's the true Warlord, as we know, even more than Mortarion, but he is no more. Now, his basically machine gun double tapping into this squad here. Jimmy has the dice.
Gonna make your way around and we'll film here.
Certainly will. There's going to be a lot. So we are filming it.
Yeah, so hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. So these missed. Are they all hit?
Marvellous.
Alright, and wounding on 3s, I believe. 40 shots. Wounding on 3s. Oh god, I see loads of 2s.
22 wounds went through. I'm going to roll the dice of camera, see if any survive. Probably not. And splat. That's the Poxwalkers all wiped, giving me a little bit of an exposed flank here. Probably Jimmy's intention, so good effort on his front. Now it is his tank commander, I do believe.
Yes.
What are we shooting into? Because there's quite a few choices around here.
I am going to shoot into these wonderful... I can't remember if they're the Death Shroud or... they're the Death Shroud?
Yeah.
They're the Death Shroud. Cool. I'll start with the Heavy Bolter. So I'm hitting on 3s. All of them. And then Strength 5, Toughness 5.
Yes.
Yeah, 4s.
Possibly a little premature, purely because he didn't fail to wound. These guys get a -1 to hit because they're in cover, and this guy gives cover. If they're in cover and this ability is still in the play, it gets -1 to hit as well. So technically, he wouldn't have got a few of them wounds off, but because he failed to wound, well, there were 3 twos, as I promise. So on. So yeah. Battle cannon time.
Battle cannon. Battle cannon. Like a battle, brother. 2d6. For 6. Cool. Hitting on 4s then.
Yes.
That made all the difference. Reroll the 1 for Gunner's Kill on sight, which made a little bit of difference. Wounding you on 3s.
Yes.
Oh, just the 1 at -2.
So -2 goes to 4, then I am in cover, so I get it down to a 3. Looking for that 3.
Yeah.
And they make it. Last but not least, it is the Chimera with its heavy flamer into the Death Shroud, trying to clink some of these wounds off.
Yeah. 2d6 for the heavy flamers. For 9, not so bad. That's 4, that's 9. Automatically hitting, so wounding you on. Strength 5, Toughness 5, 4s again?
Yes.
Yes, this time it's only -1, so you'll be getting a 2-up save.
Yeah.
So 4s. That's
Not bad.
Not a bad roll. Okay, 5.
Right, 5 go through, I'll get the dice and we'll be right back. Oop. get a wound through. So one is down to 2 wounds. Nasty Chimera, nasty.
Okay, so not what I envisioned at the end of my turn 1. I would have expected maybe this to be a few more wounds down, maybe a couple of these, well, at least one killed, but no. At least I have wiped out the squad over here, so I'm not going to have them mulching through my tanks using, is it Murder Strain or Mutant Strain? Yeah. So at least I don't have to worry about that. Right, guys, I did score 2 on the secondaries. This guy is in this table quarter, these are in this table quarter, and this one over here is in this table quarter, which takes me on to engage on all fronts. Assassinate, I'm currently nowhere near, and while we stand we fight is in play because these 3 tanks here in the middle. So, will I be able to sit pretty on these objectives for my next turn? We will find out. Right, guys, moving on to Death Guard. Turn 1.
Death Guard, turn 1. Fairly happy with the amount of firepower Jimmy has to what I lost. Don't get me wrong. The Potswalkers would be a very good harassing unit in the middle of the board, but when you're against Flamers, what are you going to do? And then that machine gun, what are you going to do? Spawns have moved up the board, basically contesting this objective here, potentially going for a charge as well. We shall see. The Crawler has moved up 9 inches into the middle of the board, eyeing up some targets. Granted, there's a lot more to shoot at it now, but if not, it's going to sit back and get shot anyway, so why not? The Marines moved up just to anchor on objective 1 for the time being. Over here is where the fun really starting to get into effect. The Bloat drone I had advanced. 4 I got, so 14-inch move has bombed him straight over there into this bit. Granted, he can't charge anything, but the Flamers still can work and auto hit him. So, win-win-win. Demon Prince has moved up, so has the Terminators and the Plague Surgeon. He is amongst all the chaos down here, no pun intended, I promise. So, needs to be a very aggressive turn from me, purely for the fact that there's a hell of a lot of tanks still there with, well, squeaky clean paint jobs, and they need to be Nurglified. So, we will do Psychic off camera real quickly, only because it's the Demon Prince this time, and he, I think, just can do 1. So it's nothing spectacular. And we'll get straight into the little shooting I have, but shooting nonetheless. The Demon Prince's psychic abilities, Putrescent Vitality, trying to put it on the Death Shroud, only getting a 4 and a 7, so it does not go off, and I would like to use the CP down the line for more important things. So that's that for psychic. Shooting, I have a Flamer. They have Flamers. He has a Flamer. He has a Flamer. Quite a lot of Flamers. Not really good against tanks, but squishy men. So, hey-ho. So what we're going to do is the Flamers off camera, and then I'll do the Plague Burst Crawler, since he has non-flaming guns, on camera. So we'll see you guys now. It's flame on. So all the Plague flaming goodness has gone into the Chimera, clinking off a couple of wounds, knocking it down to 6. Making it a bit more of an easy picking for this combat. That's definitely going to 100% happening. Bolters went into him as well. Don't think they did anything. So now it's onto the tank. After working everything out, I'm probably just going to go for Pask, because I just don't like him. He killed Gimpy, basically, simple as. What I would have done is try and flame the Heavy Bolters team, but if you've seen some videos in the past, my luck with this tank is pretty rubbish, so let's just focus on one thing, yeah? Let's do this. So, I will start with the Mortar. So, I am going to burn 1 CP for Disgusting Force. What does that do? Well, I will tell you. It basically means the damage goes to 3 rather than 2 on the Mortar, and then anything within 3 inch of it after, if I hit, gets a mortar wound on a 4, I do believe, so it would be this tank and this tank. Granted, Tech Marine, Tech Priest down there, but we'll address that later. Right, so D6 shots for the Great 1. I will burn a CP to re-roll that. For a 5. Right, I'll get the dice and we'll be right back. So, 5 shots, hitting on 3s.
You hit 1. So you remember that reroll you just did?
I know, absolute waste of time.
Wounding on, what strength is it? 8?
8.
Wounding on 4s. Because I'm out of it.
Yeah, massively. It's going in bin. It's going in bin! Apologies for the outburst, but this thing always does that. So what I'm going to do is the flamers and the heavy stubber just into pass off camera, and then...
Do your mortal wounds now on camera. Let's do that. Tank Commander 1.
Yep.
Yes, take some mortal wound. Tank Commander 2. Warlord.
Yes, so... Right, so they did more than the thing. Fair enough. 1 CP for 2 more wounds. Probably not great, but it'll do. And then, like we just said, we'll just do the other shots off camera into Pask. And we'll be right back, guys. So, charge phase. Demon Prince, Shrouds, Surgeon are all going into the Chimera. I'm going to go for a cheeky charge with the Crawler into probably Pask, needing, I think, a 10. These guys need 2 for Demon Prince, so pretty much can't fail. Well, can't fail. Shrouds need a 3, and then Surgeon needs a 5. And then right over the side of the board, then Spawn's going to go into the Chimera, needing a 7. Jimmy's going to elect to overwatch the Spawns, I do believe.
Yes, I'm going to do the Lasgun Array and the Flamers into them, and I've done Vengeance of Cadia as well, which allows me to re-roll hits and wounds.
Yeah.
So, yes.
It might be worth it, purely for the fact if he can take out one of the Spawns, which is quite easily achievable, he shuts me down from obviously holding that objective. Granted, he has troop in there, but currently it is 2-1. So we'll start with the Demon Prince, obviously, just for formalities. Gets in. Shrouds. Gets in. If they need an 8, just need to work this all out. Surgeon. For a 7. We're moving this now just because I need to be very tactical and I need to remember exactly what I'm going to do. So we'll do that quickly and then we'll go on to the more challenging roles in a second. After these guys have all moved in, it is the Spawns next. Jimmy, do your Overwatch, sir.
Yes, so 2d6 on the Flamers. I'll actually burn a CP to roll.
3 CP for this. What are you rolling 2 for? You roll only 1 dice back, don't you?
No, you've got to re-roll the whole roll.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not gunners this time round.
Right.
So 9.
Okay,
So
that's
3,
probably worth it a little bit.
4, 6, 7, 9. Because of Vengeance Acadia, wounded you on 5s, but re-rolling.
Very good job, why?
Yeah, so 2 so far. So 4 wounds, and then I'll just quickly do the 5 wounds. Sorry, not 4. And I'll do the Lasgun Array as well. So hit on 6s. Hit roll. No, nothing.
Okay. 5 wounds.
5 wounds.
Needing 6s.
Oh, bloody hell.
So that is 1 Spawn down to 1 wound, I do believe. Right.
They didn't get in. I think you needed about a 6, didn't you? I think that was a 6 and that's a 10. Do you re-roll? Do you burn that CP? Or are you going to re-roll for this one? And shut down its proper tank and not a transport. Decisions.
Sorry for the pause, guys. I'll have a little think and be right back. I know he's lost wounds, but I will not re-roll. My logic is, if I charge him, he could possibly kill him in combat, and then he's contesting it, and obviously he can flame in combat. So let's say it's a slight victory for burning 3 CP to basically take 3 wounds off a Spawn. So let's just leave that one there, shall we? And this guy, we're needing a 10, we do believe. Ooh, 8. I'll burn it, why not?
8 again.
It was not meant to be. Right, so we'll get the dice ready for this fight, and we'll be right back, guys.
So, the Demon Prince has got in. Will he be able to kill this Chimera on its 6 wounds? Quite possibly. So, 6 attacks, hitting on 2s.
Well, you weren't far off. Luckily, it's hitting on 2s. So
Ended
it's
on 3s. You can reroll that 1. It's not Plague
no, I
Weapon,
got
is
a
it?
mistake last time.
Yeah, you cheating son of a gun. So, 3 damage each in it. Oh no. Oh, damn it! I'll drop that one. Needing at least 2 6s here. Do I explode? That is the question. Hey, yeah! No, I do not. Well, that is 1 point towards Bring It Down, I believe, sir. And I will get my men out.
So the Death Shroud have consolidated into the Guard, and the Guard have basically consolidated up, ready for a, I think, 2-man strike. Again, another one, a bit of a tricky one. The Death Shroud have a keyword saying if they are within 3 inch of a character, which they are, the Demon Prince and the Surgeon, enemy shooting cannot target them, but they're in combat. So you can't shoot the Death Shroud, so does it mean you can't just shoot them? We've read it and looked to the erratas, and it basically is a bit of a weird rule. So from how we're reading it, is the Death Shroud block any incoming fire, and obviously they're in combat with the Marines. Don't get me wrong, the Guard are probably going to jump out, and they can shoot regardless anyway, so it's probably a wasted conversation, but that is that. So Jimmy will do his Guard attacks off camera, and then I will come back at my turn 1 wrap up. Wowie, wowie, wowie. So turn 1, really wished I had first turn, purely so I could put pressure in the middle of the board, but that's how the dice game works. Scoring 1 point for Bring It Down, destroying that Chimera, and thin the ranks, obviously the end of the game, but I scored technically another point, so it's technically 2-2, which is very, very low scoring, but this is when the primary start kicking in. This side is massively strong for me, and this side is massively strong for Jimmy. It's just a matter of, can I get these guys into these guys, or can they blast them off the board? Which you'll see very, very shortly. Luckily, I have my Lord, Contagion, and his fellow Terminators coming in next turn, so hopefully they can get into combat and destroy some of these tanks. Massively need that to happen. But we'll see. Imperial Guard, turn 2, coming at ya.
So my turn 2 movement. I can't remember if I said it in the army overview, but this tank commander here has the relic, the Lost Relic of Cadia, which I'm activating this turn. We've measured everybody within 12 inches, so it'll be Pask, normal dude, this guy's just in 12, and he's in 12. All get to, I believe it's reroll, hit, and wound rolls for anything against chaos. Lo and behold, everything is chaos. Unfortunately, this guy is out by about an inch. So, and the heavy bolters, I think, are just in. Which means that most of my army are getting rerolls, which is lovely. I think I'm going to need it this turn to do some serious damage. These guys I've backed out and kind of conga lined through here to flee and try and get into here, which I don't think they'll hold next turn, because these guys will mutilate them. I've brought this geezer round as well, just to apply more pressure onto this side of the board. These guys have only moved up their 3 inches, and they're going to hole a massive load of fire into here. The commander is just sitting pretty in the middle of the board for now. and all these guys have jumped out there. This tank moved around this here, backing up onto objective 3. My hope is to wipe out them spawns this turn and control this side of the board for now. I do know that Kyle needs to bring in some Terminators in that top corner, but where will they drop? I have no idea yet. But will I be concerned? I don't know yet. It depends on what he plans on doing with them, but we will see. Right, psychic phase complete. Now moving on to the shooting. The guys with the random weapons, so this Lord and this Lord, I am putting Pound Them to Dust, I think it is. It's a Cadian special tank ability where I get to re-roll the dice. So if I roll a 1, I get to re-roll it, or roll a 2, potentially re-roll it. So that's what I'm doing there. Pask is going to do Strike and Shroud. So he's going to strike and shoot somebody, and then he's going to pop his smoke. But now, where I'm going to actually start, is up at the top corner, up here. So I'm going to shoot these 10 guys into the Chaos Spawns. And then I'm thinking I will do the mortar teams into the spawns as well. And then if not, I'll do the flamers. And then I will take it from there. So I'll quickly do the guardsman off camera, and we'll be back in a jiffy.
The guys have wounded twice, killing the spawn and downing him to 3 wounds. Now it's the mortar team in the red building, popping their mortars into this lone spawn, seeing what they can do.
You said then, in the red building, and in my head I was like, in the red corner, the mortar teams are firing, and we are doing that many shots, only 6, that is not great. So, 6 hit, luckily I'm re-rolling 1s. I hit with 2, and then I'm wounding you on 5s. So 1 whole shot.
And he is fine.
Cool. I'll do I might as well do the Chimera, so I'll do 2d6 flamers for 6 again. Strength 5 against toughness 6. I am wounding you on 5s again. That's a bit better. That is 3. -1, so I believe it's your 6s if I'm correct.
Correct, indeed. Nope, he is dead. After the spawn comes the Chimera. Nope, Hellhound. Damn it! You got it wrong. Hellhound into Marines.
Yes, because they will be wounding on 3s, I'm just going to fire both of them at the same time. So 3d6. God damn it. For 9. Yeah. Or just like, because of his, he gets to re-roll to hit, but then that's not determining thingies. So, wounding on 3s, re-rolling. Good thing it's re-rolling. 9. -1.
Oh dear. I'll get my dice and I'll see what I can do. Looking for them 4s. Not too bad. So that is 1 Marine dead. I'll take that. Goodbye, Ugly Prince. Next up, the tank that I'm focusing on. I don't know its name. The Lehman Russ. What are we doing?
Execution, yeah. I am using Hail of Fire. It's 2 CP, but then I'm shooting my Executioner Cannon at 12 shots. I'm firing it into the Blade Burst Crawler. I am going to overcharge it as well because I do have some rerolls, so if I take a mortal wound, yeah, don't matter.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then I think, be damage 2 anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I'll be wounding a bit better. So, hitting you on 3s, re-rolling, because of the relic.
Yep.
So, okay. To one side. So there's the 1. And then wounding you on 4s, re-roll.
Yes.
Good thing I'm re-rolling.
Yeah.
And then fall to one side. discarnate. That was a 6. And then, oh, there's a 4. And then 4s again. Just 2 that time. So, 2, 4, 6, 7.
That's my number. Therefore, I win and do not get wounded. 7 dice coming at you. Looking for them 5 demon saves.
Passed a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, I did. I failed 3, so that's 2 damage going down to 1 because it's disgusting. So I lose 3 more wounds off the crawler.
Is heavy bolters this time going into the Death Shroud Terminators? So I'm looking for 4s because they're -1 to hit thanks to this horrible beastie. And then, but I'm re-rolling, and then I'm wounding on 4s as well because strength 5 toughness 5. So 4s. That's probably a good thing. I'll die 4s again. Okay, so I miss with 3. And then wounding on 4s re-rolling. Come on, 4s. 3 at -1. So you're probably going to need 2 saves.
Because I get my save, so it's 2, you are correct. Of course, I fail 1. That's 1 wound off the Death Shroud. Coming across the board to the other side, the Chimera is going to do his heavy flamers into the Death Shroud, trying to get rid of these.
Yeah, so hitting you on 2d6 for 5. No, I won't bother re-rolling. Oh god. Wounding you on 4s. Why can't I roll more than 1? 1 at -1.
He's fine. Now, these 2 into the Death Shroud. We are going to do Pask and all these 1,000 shots into them off camera because there's a lot of dice. And there's so many dice on the board, it's getting a little bit confusing. So see what he can do in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Still going. Champion, 2 wounds left. Next up, this tank. I'm guessing all into them.
Yeah, I'm throwing it all into the Death
At
Shroud.
least it opens them up. Right, again, off camera. Will he survive? Time will tell. See you back in 3, 2, 1. And there were no more. So, regards with the relic and all the shots and all the shenanigans, the Death Shroud have been obliterated, opening up the Demon Prince and the Surgeon for some shots. But luckily, how it's played, they are safe for now. So, the Heavy Bolted squad going into the tank, I do believe. Yeah. And then the last remaining tank is going to shoot everything into the Bloat drone. Oh.
Yeah, I'm just double checking that they're within.
Okay, right, get your dice and we'll see you guys in a jiffy.
Before you say anything, I'm using concentrated fire on these guys against that, which allows me to hit them on 3s, and instead of wounding on 5s, I'll be wounding on 4s, I think.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good. The Heavy Bolter team taking this down to 6 wounds. So the last is the Lehman Russ on the back of the field, shooting all its guns into the Bloat drone.
Yeah. Cannon, I am going to elect to Overwatch, so 2d6 shots for 4. Wonderful. Have I used a command reroll yet? I don't think I have. No, I will command reroll this and get a double 1. Hey!
Better.
Extra 1! Right, I don't want any 1s here, otherwise that is bad.
What do you hit on normally?
I would be normally hitting you on 4s. It's 1 mortal wound.
Wouldn't you be hitting on
4s normally, so I'd be hitting you on 5s.
Yeah.
Wounding you on 3s. So wound at -3.
Just gonna go over here and get my little dice. Whee! Demon save then. Nope.
2 damage, going down to 1, I think.
Yes. So I think I've got 8 or 9 wounds. I'll double check and I'll put the tally on.
So alright, heavy bolters now.
Wow.
6.
Ching ching ching.
And then just the 1, I believe.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
-1.
So I get my armor save because of this geezer, so it's freeze. Of course not. 2 wounds off the bloat drone.
So, end of my turn 2. I scored 10 for the primary, and I scored 2 for engage on all fronts, which I believe is taking me up to 14, Mr. Kyle. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Very, very, very good. What a very, very strong turn from me. That relic against chaos is horrible, and the fact that it's got a 12-inch aura, which effectively gives it a 24-inch like range, because they were in, these were in. This guy sadly wasn't, otherwise that might have been on a couple less wounds, but still taking 2 wounds off of that was quite good. I feel like I am about to lose stuff though this turn, and I know that the no, they're not. They're the Blight Lords now. Am I correct? Blight Lord Terminators, and the Lord of Contagion are going to drop in somewhere, and it's going to hurt. But where will they drop in? Nobody knows, apart from Mr. Kyle. So we are going into Death Guard turn 2. If he has a terrible turn here, could be game over. And that's what we're discussing off camera. But stick with us, guys. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm only got 14 points. I'm not running away with it. We will see you in Death Guard turn 2.
Turn 2. What has happened with Jimmy and his incredible re-rolling bubbles? What has happened is a lot of my guys are now squished and deaded. But there is still things to be done, things to be killed. I have bombed the Lord of Contagion down here, 9 inches away from this tank here. And these Terminators down here against the battle cannoned Lehman Russ. The logic of splitting them is so I can potentially tap as many tanks as I can. These guys here, if they were in the aura range of the Demon Prince, they can get the reroll plague weapons, so it'll be very good in combat. The tank has bombed up in the middle, eyeing up potentially some charges. Again, it's just all that shutting momentum down. I know regards to falling back, they can move, which I think is a little bit bonkers, but that is the rules. In the blue building as well, there is the bloat drone, probably going to flame that poor little tech priest that's done very little this game. That is that. I will do psychic off camera, and we will get into the shooting. What we possibly might do then is a few of the flaming weapons off camera as well, mainly the furnace, maybe the bloat drone, and we'll get back into some of the more, let me quote, decent shooting. Isn't that right, Plague Burst Crawler?
So recapping the shooting phase so far, as you can see, 5 guardsmen were killed by flamers from this geezer here. The bolt pistol didn't do anything from the surgeon. These guys fired all shots into this tech priest engine seer and did no wounds, but his flamers managed to take off 3 of his 4 wounds. He didn't hit, and I think that's about it. The plague spewer did nothing.
Yeah, just for housekeeping, the psychic power went off, so these are now strength...
Toughness 6.
Toughness 6, and then they get a strength as well, so I think the strength base 5. These guys, just as well, I didn't obviously say it, did spread the sickness on the objective 1, so that will be 3 points back to the end of the game. I am also burning another CP for Disgusting Force for my crawler. So again, it is the mortal wounds and then the damage 3.
Where are you shooting that?
I will be doing it into these tanks. So I will put the mortar into Pask, and obviously mortal wound burst on that. And then I'll measure up, but I will probably do the rest of them into the heavy bolters.
Just remember, Pask is -1 to hit because he fired and fired his smoke launchers.
If that's the case, I'm hitting him.
Oakley dokley. Cool. Right then, we will grab the dice and we'll be back in a jiffy. Mortar shots now. How many are you going to get? A massive 1. 2. You really rolling? Or are you just sticking with 2? Sticking with 2.
Hitting on 3s because I'm still technically just in my top bracket. For both hit. So they are toughness 7 now.
Yep.
So I'm wounded on 3s.
Yep.
Both go through.
Minus
2.
So 5 up saves. Here we go. Pass 1, fail 1. One's taken 3 damage.
And then just roll for the mortal wound output on Pask.
Yep.
Looking for 4s. Yep. And he gets down a mortal wound as well.
Cool. Right, I'll just adjust them dice and we'll be back in a... So the Entropy cannons, are they called?
No, they're new ones. The spewers are...
Oh, yeah, plague spewers.
And then the heavy slugger. So I'll do the slugger first. So it's 4 hits. Hitting on 3s. So that is 3 there. Strength 5 against toughness 3 still because of the auras. You just... I'll go through.
Cool, minus?
Don't actually know. It is -1.
3 shots, yeah.
Yes.
-1. 6 up saves. I have failed all 3 of those. That is 1 dead, 1 on 1 wound. And now finally, your plague spewers.
For 5. I'll
Might be
keep
enough.
I'll keep that. Any day of morale and stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
So 5 auto hits, strength 5, so looking for 3s again. I'll go through. -1 again, so looking for 6s.
This could wipe the squad here. It's enough to wipe the squad. Bye bye, sweet princes. Right, ladies and gentlemen. The Plague Surgeon is going into here. The Bloat Drone is going into here. The Demon Prince is double tapping these. This geezer is double tapping these. This geezer's going for a run there. These guys are going into this geezer. Any more geezers going into some geezers?
The 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorted.
Right.
It needs to do reasonably well to tap you, to really shut you down. Granted, you've got mobility on this side, but if I can take out a few tanks, get some points back up, we might be in a better place, but it's all depending on this charge. I feel like this is going to be the decider. Right, we'll start. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do Surgeon first.
Surgeon first, so needing about 2. He's it.
So that hopefully is my bad luck for the dice roll. I'm going to leave them all there so I know where I am. Then I'm going to do my tank into the 2 tanks.
Cool. Needing a 5, we've pre-measured this. He's in on a 6. He's done it.
Right.
The Demon Prince, to double tap both of them. We'll measure it up, but as long as you score more than a 4, I think, yeah, you're fine.
11.
You're definitely in. So, now your Lord.
I do Bloat Drone just because it's less of a worry.
Nope. Yep, that's in.
And a 9. And then I will do the Terminators next.
Okay.
For 3.
8's alright. He's going to slice them up anyway, I think.
I won't bother. And then I will do the
Lord. And this is where I'm going to elect to Overwatch, guys. So what I will be doing is doing an Overwatch, which is 1 CP, Vengeance of Cadia, which is 1 CP, and Defensive Gunners, which is another CP. So I'll be rolling on 5s, or hitting on 5s, re-rolling, and then because he's strength... Toughness 5, is he?
5, I think,
doesn't matter if I Overwatch or not. I won't bother. But yeah, I'll decide what I'm doing there. But I'm going to Overwatch, so we'll see if he gets him. But would you like to roll it anyway for the gentleman at home? 11, he's definitely in, so I've got to try and kill him here. So we will move everything in, and I will do this off camera.
So if I ever get lucky, it is with the charges, and this game is no exception to the rule. Everything has moved in. Everything is looking a little bit brighter for the Death Guard. It all depends on if I can pop some of these tanks, would be brilliant. He has no CP left because he's burnt 3 to try and take out the Lord of Contagion, taking 4 wounds off. A very noble effort, but luckily a few decent armor saves saved my skin. I burnt 1 CP for a command reroll. So there's no interruptions, purely because he has no CP to do so. So I will get this ball rolling with possibly, I'll go probably left to right, why not? So we'll start with the Surgeon and we'll work his way around.
Surgeon, 4 attacks, hitting on freeze.
Yep.
So now the Bloat drone is attacking the tech priest. Hitting on freeze.
Way.
What did you hit that time?
Wounded on 2s.
Yep.
Rerolling them 1s, doesn't matter. AP -2, so 5s, or he's dead. He's
well and truly dead. The Demon Prince is electing to attack the battle cannon, so hitting on 2s. That's 6 attacks. Missing with 1. Wounding on 3s.
4 at.
-3 in it.
Yeah.
Yep. 4 6-up saves. Yeah, I got one of them. It's only 9 damage. It's enough to kill him. Do I explode? No. I saw the 6, but unfortunately, he is dead. Plague Burst Crawler into Pask. Makes no difference. I can't thingy anyway.
Yeah, I actually don't know what he can do.
He gets 1 attack, hitting on 9s, wounding on 12s.
4 attacks.
4 attacks.
4 attacks, hitting on 6s.
Oh, at least he's hit on 6s.
We'll just
Yeah, he didn't want to attack at all. Right, now your Lord, would you like to have a quick look at what he does? And we'll be back in a moment.
Thanks, guys.
Right, Lord of Contagion now. Going into the Lehman Russ.
Yeah,
with...
so just it's in the description in regards to my list. Well, that was difficult. He's got Corrosive Filth, which is a deadly pathogen. I thought Jimmy would have brought tanks, maybe not as many tanks, but definitely tanks. So damaging output is gained by 1. So he's got the Reaper of Glorious Entropy, which is basically a power fist, but without the minus. Unmodified rolls are 6 off in wounds. It's a mortal wound at the top. It's flat 3 damage, so it's flat 4 now. So 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. All hit. Strength 8 against toughness 7, so 3s. Failing just a 1. So you're looking for 6s, sir.
This is where this tank is going to die. He is dead.
So that's 16 wounds.
That is 16 wounds. That is disgusting. And see if I explode. It'd be nice if I do. No, I do not. Oh well.
What a turn for me. You thought it was all over with Jimmy's shooting, but my combat's really brought me back into the game. Scored 9 though. 5 for the primary, 2 for bring it down, destroying 2 Lehman Russes. Really freeing up some of this middle of the board for me. Wow. Great turn for both sides. Thin the ranks, end of the game. Spread the sickness, end of the game. So I've gained a few points more from that. So that'll be added at the end. But shutting down one of his... the 2 tanks here really has helped. Obviously stopping him from getting whilst we stand we fight as well. So that's some points off that as well. It's a bit of a shame these guys ain't coming, but with regards to Psychic Power going off, they are tough as 6. So some of the flaming abilities, if and when, will be a little bit less damaging. He is out in the open, which is a little bit worrying. I feel like he's probably done his business. See if these guys can take him down. Pask is very outnumbered down there, but it can all flip once again. So let's go on to Jimmy's turn 3 and see what his little men can do.
So, end of my command phase. I get my only command point back. Now, onto the movement, as you can see. These guys have moved up, allowing 3 of them to see the Lord Contagion. This guy has moved around to get onto this objective here. I've decided to keep Pask in combat for now. That's all of these 3 units, I believe, have... well, I'm not going to say what I think it looks like. These guys fled combat after only losing 1 to morale, and I've just run onto that objective. And then these guys have jumped out the tank, and I'm going to try and score some lovely, jubbly assassinate this turn. So, I'm going to go straight into my shooting phase, and we'll do that now.
3 guys could see the Lord of Contagion managing to do very little. Next, it is the Chimera into the 2 wounded left. Yep. Can he clink him off? Let's see.
For 5. Wounding you on 5s, I think. No, 4s.
Yes.
Yes, 4s. 3 at -1. So it'll be 3 up saves.
Down to 1 wound. The Lehman Russ, defending objective 2, is going to shoot everything into the 1 wounded Lord of Contagion to get assassinate and get him some little cheeky points.
2d6. I'm going to re-roll that.
Okie
I will
dokie.
burn my 1 CP for 9.
Yeah,
That's
let's go there.
So, 5.
9 shots overcharging at the Lord of Contagion.
Hitting on 4s. Actually, that's not bad.
That is very good.
That's very good. Very good, sir. And then wounding you on 3. That's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus redonkulous, so you 4 hit them.
Nope. Well done. You destroyed the Lord of Contagion, bagging you 3 points for assassinate. The las guns have shot into the surgeon. 5 wounds went through. Because of the furnace, he is getting a 2 up armor save.
Sure, he's fine.
He is absolutely fine. Thank you, Mr. Furnace. Say it.
The flamers from the Chimera are going into the Plaguechosen now. So 2d6. 7.
Middle of the road, that's not bad.
Toughness.
Of what, sorry? Surgeon, 5.
4s then. 1, 2, 3. 3 at -1.
So actually normal armor saves now. Absolutely bossed it. He is definitely sticking around. What we're going for? Having a little thinky.
Yeah, I'll have a think.
Okie dokie. The mortars in the red corner. They basically shot all the mortar shots into the surgeon. Believe it or not, he's down there somewhere. Sorry, finger. Ooh, there he is. So next, and I think the final is literally this Hellhound into my Marines. So the final is the Hellhound into the Marines.
So the Inferno Cannon on top, 2d6. Bagging me 10 shots. 6.
Now wounding on 3s.
Down 3, baby! 1, 2, so 8 at -1.
Okay. I will get my dice and see what these can do. Come on, Marinis. Looking for 4s. Fairly solid, so
2 dead.
2 Marines are dead. 2 standing there. Next up, the heavy flamer underneath. D6 shots. Let's see what we can do. For 4. Enough to kill him.
Wounding you on 4s this time. Just the 1.
Nope, he's totally fine. So that is 2 guys on this objective still, holding this down for the Death Guard. That, I do believe, is everything.
Ooh, no, the tank. Because it is not the blast weapon. So I actually get to fire everything. State. But thank you, big guns never tire. So shooting, I managed to plink with all the shots from Pask into the Demon Prince. Just 1 wound. I think that is it for my shooting. Don't think I can do anything else. Oh dear. I think this is where the tables turn and everything goes wrong. Looking at what I have left, do I charge with anything? That is the question. I am considering it, but I don't know if it's wise. It's probably not wise at all. So I might not bother. I'll have a little think, guys. So in my infinite wisdom, I've decided to charge the tank into your Plague Surgeon. Would you like to Overwatch, sir? With your bolt pistol.
Straight through.
I think I need about a 3 to get in. I'm in on an 11.
He's hungry for the charge.
Boom. There we go, guys. I get 3 attacks. Hitting on 6s. Yeah, I did one. I'm definitely wounded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh dear. It was minus 20, by the way. Right, that is that for the charge. It is now your turn, and I'm guessing you're going to pick the Demon Prince to absolutely slice Mr. Pask open. So I'll let you get your dice, and we'll be back in a moment. Demon Prince now into Pask.
6 attacks. 5 go through. Look at the freeze.
What's 2 there would be that?
Well, even better for you. I don't get to reroll. It's 2.
2 6s, I believe. The complete opposite of 6s. So that is 6 damage. Oh no. Oh no. Pask tried striking back and failed terribly. So, Bloat drone now.
Freeze. Oh, they all bloody hit. Strength 6 against toughness 7, so 5.
2 minus.
Just the 1.
That's enough to take a wound. He is on 1 wound remaining. And off-camera... Off-camera? That makes sense. And off-camera combat, he did 1 wound. Now we're moving over to the Blade Burst Crawler. Can he take the final wound off Pask? Here we go, hitting on 6s.
No, he cannot.
This is why we don't tend to do vehicle combats. But that is, I think, the end of my turn. We will just recap the points and we'll be back with you in a moment. So, I scored for 5 for primary. I can't remember which one I was sat on. I think it was this one here, thanks to these troops, and the one up at the top. So 5 points there. Killing that Lord of Contagion has gained me 3. So that is 8. And I am in every table quarter, giving me a massive 3 more points. Giving me 11. I believe I was on 14. Add 11, that's 25. I believe I am denying Kyle primary points next turn, which could be huge, and I could gain maybe 15. But I feel like this son of a gun has got a battle plan up his sleeve, or lack of sleeves. But, but we will see. We are going into Death Guard, turn 3.
Turn 3 for the Death Guard, and it's still ongoing. There's no clear clear winner, or runaway. That's what I was trying to say, guys. Scoring enough in the primary, which is pretty massive. Points mean everything right now. With such a slow pointing game. The Demon Prince uses Psychic Power to smite past, destroying him, bagging me some points. The downfall is he exploded, taking wounds off. Demon Prince, the Bloat drone lost 1 apiece, and then the Crawler down to 4, which is, ideally not great. Open up the shooting though, which is pretty good. I need to knock off some of these guys off these objectives, or else he's going to score 15, and then that's probably game, set, and match. So what we'll do is we will do all the shooting off camera, barring the Plagueburst Crawler, because I have a cunning little plan with him. If it pays off is another matter. So we'll see what I can do, and we'll be back with the Crawler. Shooting phase is near enough complete. All the flaming weapons have shot, clinking 2 wounds, or no, 3 wounds. 3 wounds down to 8 wounds on this, regards to the Terminator shots. And these guys here, the guardsmen are no more. So objective 5 is now mine for the time being. This guy to go. I am burning 1 CP for overwhelming generosity, which makes flaming weapons 18 inch. So they are just within range of these guys. So I'm going to put everything he has into this guard unit, hopefully taking some down, and maybe morale might possibly be an issue. So we will start with the flamers. For 11, I'll get the dice and we'll be right back. So 11 hits, so they are toughness 3 because of contagion range isn't in effect. So it's looking for 3s. 9, sir, at AP -1.
Sixes.
I see 1.
8 dead.
With 2 remaining, it's the heavy sluggers looking for 3s. Oh no, 4s now, sorry, because of the degradation, but it still goes through. Strength 5 against toughness 3, so looking for 3s again. 2 this time.
Regular or -1?
-1.
Both dead.
That is a sword wiped, and base 4 is free from the guard. With the shooting complete, quite a good little flaming goodness from me. Annoyingly, I said I put everything into the guard, keep trying to get rid of them, so the actual cannon is doing nothing. So, charging, what's going to happen? The Terminators are going to charge into the Hellhound. Luckily, no CP for Jimmy, so that means it's safe from flaming from me. The tank and the Bloat drone are going to try and charge the Lehman Russ down there. I think it's a 9 and a 10. It's still quite big.
No, 9 and 11.
9 and 11, my apologies. So, still massive, but if it pays off, it could be quite crucial. So, we'll start with these guys down here. I think probably needing about 3, but we'll see what we get. Yeah, for a 6, that's definitely them in. Right, the tank is 9, is it?
9, yeah. No.
I'll burn CP because it's the most likely one to get in. For a 9, that tank is hungry for a fight. And then needing an 11 for the drones. 8, good, but no cigar. So that means the Terminators are in, the tank is in, and these guys are having a little chin wag in the middle of the board. So move them in, and we'll get into the fight phase, guys. Terminators next. I'm going to consolidate, and we are just going to do this on camera. So you guys have a little think. Can this Chimera survive? We'll give you the result in 3, 2,
Hellhound.
1.
Can the Hellhound survive?
It's downgraded a bit, I'm sorry. It's
No, it's a Hellhound.
devolved.
It's not a
That's a Chimera.
It's a Hellhound.
Hellhound. Chimera. Hellhound. Okay. Chimera. God damn it! Just another one as well. I am burning 2 CP for Eternal Hatred, which basically means I get +1 to my wound rolls. So quite a lot of these guys are wounded on 3s rather than 4s and 5s rather than 4s. Will this pay off? I don't know, but we shall see. And he lives. 4 wounds remaining. Pretty terrible roll from the Terminators, but 4 wounds remaining. Hopefully next turn it is mine. We'll do the tank off camera, and then I'll go straight to my wrap up, guys. See you there. Short but sweet. Didn't really do the damage I needed to. I mean, don't get me wrong, taking them off 4 and taking them off 5 is massively vital, but these Terminators slightly whiffed is not destroying this kind of Hellhound, keep saying it. But believe it or not, scored 2, bring it down. That was literally it. Don't get me wrong, added more to my tally, which is end of the game. So a lot of my points are going to rack up there. So currently I am on 12 for basically with the primary and all that malarkey. Hopefully, regards to where the position I'm in, if I can take out some more of these tanks, turn 4 and 5, I can maybe max out some of these bigger points. But that has really helped Jimmy. Regards to the primaries, primaries are key, and I am not getting them very quickly. But because I get in second, end of turn 5, I can run onto the objective and score the massive 15, which could bag me the game. This guy is holding objective 3, but he's going to have to move to shoot, which I feel like he probably will. It's just this guy in the corner, obviously shooting the Plaguechosen, but we'll still see. So, Jimmy's turn 4 coming at you.
So at the beginning of my turn 4, I was confident at the end of turn 2, but this son of a gun just knows what to do to make my confidence disappear. So I scored 5 for the primary because I was on this one and I was on objective 3. I fled that guy around there, so if the Demon Prince wants to go cut him up, tough. If he wants to charge him, tough. Mortar team moved out just so that we're contesting that objective, basically, meaning that I can kind of secure it. These guys right there have jumped back into this tank. So now I'm literally playing in each quarter. Moving on to my shooting phase, I will be doing the flamers into the terminators, flamer from here into the surgeon, and then I might as well do the mortars, but they'll be hitting on 5s into the plague surgeon as well. I'm not going to take anything off of these guys, and these guys will be dead next turn, but hey hell. Right, moving on to my shooting. So I decided to do all my shooting off camera because there wasn't much. The mortars did a couple of wounds into the plague surgeon and he saved him. The flamers from the chimera did a couple of wounds into him and he saved them. I did, however, manage to kill a Blightlord Terminator with the Inferno Cannon and Heavy Flamer, and Kyle did burn a reroll as well. So that's one minor victory in this. Moving on to the fight phase, we will probably film the Blightlord fight. Nothing's going to happen over here. And then we will move on to Kyle's turn 4.
Correct.
Ooh. So, what's attacking first? The axes, the
swords. So looking for freeze.
Reroll that.
Yeah. When you always want them to do well, and then you just start. So that is 5s.
2 though.
6s.
No, 5s. So he's got 2 wounds remaining.
And then I have one guy with an axe. So that's freeze. I'll go through. Strength 6. So 4s. 2.
2 minus.
I believe it's 1 this time.
He's down to 1 wound. And then the mace.
No, axe is a 2.
He's dead. Does he explode then? Needing a 4 because he's a hellhound. I roll a 1. Do. Goodbye, sweet tanky tank of the tank. So we did the tanks off camera, dealing no wounds. These guys over here have consolidated towards my tank up here. It's going to be an interesting turn 4 because Kyle is on 1, 2 to my 1, 2, 3. So I have managed to score 5 for the primary.
Yep.
And then I have scored 2 for engage on all fronts. While we stand, we fight. was pointless, really pointless. I probably should have taken Raise the Banners High. That would have made more sense for this match. And what else was I on? Oh, while we stand we fight, all my tanks that I needed to survive are there, so I'm scoring no points for that. Assassinate is not going well for me, but I did manage to score 3. This guy here just will not die. Right, moving on to Kyle's turn 4, and probably going to be a decent turn 4 as well.
Turn 4 recap. I am in a good place. Simple as. For the command point I gained, I burnt for an advance on these Terminators to get onto number 3. So that next turn, if they stay there, obviously I can start to max out these points. These guys. So the Bloat drone has moved up, needing I think a 5, possibly 4. I think it's a 5 to charge. And then the Demon Prince has moved over here as well, needing a 5 on the Chimera. Who says Death Guard are slow when you've got 10-inch moving models over here? These guys have stayed put. The Surgeon has done Spread the Sickness onto Objective 5, losing a wound in the process, but bagging me 3 points for the end of the game. So, Psychic. I will put a smite onto the Chimera. Let's give it a go. For an 11. D6, baby. As Master James has just said. For 2.
I just deflect those with my awesomeness.
What? Because you're Cadian. Right, so 2 wounds off. Cheeky.
I generally can't find numbers on a dice today.
So we will do the flamers off camera, and then we'll get straight into the charge phase. The game is coming to an end, and Jimmy needs to go to sleepies. So shooting off camera, charge phase on. See you there, guys. As promised, into the charge phase. So what happened in the shooting? Jimmy has burnt his last CP to take cover, so he needed 5s for his armour save. Luckily, he really paid off with one of the mortar teams still standing, still technically holding the objective. So this guy is going to have to charge. Demon Prince is going to charge into the Chimera, managing to clink a few wounds off him with these guys here. So we'll start with the drone. I think is probably more important right this second. So needing a 5. I am definitely going to burn it.
Are you sure?
Yes. For a 6.
You are a total bastard.
And then this guy needing a 5 for a 5. Both in.
Boop. Boop. Oh. Can you technically get there? Because it's unstable.
Well, when you... It's breachable, isn't it?
We will have to check the terrain.
We'll check the terrain rolls. After Mr. White is trying to put his white shenanigans...
My white shenanigans.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Demon Prince can fight. So I'll get the dice for him and we'll be right back, guys.
6 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s. Go for it. He's missed with all of them.
Freeze?
Yeah.
2.
Oh. Need 2 6s, I believe. Oh dear. Does he explode? No. Guys inside. 5. Two die. Oh no! Oh, okay, I was just about to say it and he's already rolled it.
Sorry, guys. 2s.
No, 5s.
2s.
5s.
2s rerolling ones. Ah!
2.
8 minus 1, so you need 2 6s in.
Does he explode? He does not, oh dear. Right guys, that is that. This is looking very bleak for the Imperial Guardsman. If you turned off after turn 2, you are an idiot. And I say that with full vengeance in my voice. You are a stupid fool. Oh god, I hate this game. I hate you. I quit.
No, you don't.
Like B-Bone, I am leaving. No, I kid. Oh, this sucks. Right. How did it go from you having nothing to you suddenly having everything on the board?
I don't know.
How, man?
I don't know. I'll work out my points and we'll be back at my recap. After Jimmy's little outburst, I only scored 8 for that turn. See, it's not too bad. I mean, there's underlining points, but 8 for that turn. 5 for the primary, and then 3 for bring it down. 1 for the Chimera up there, and then 2 for the Hellhound because he has 11 wounds. Putting me on 18 total with quite a few points to add at the end of the game. So it is going to be very, very close. So we'll just quickly get into Jimmy's turn 5.
So my movement. I have moved these guys up here. I have scored 5 for the primaries. The one over here with him moving up here, and these guys on here. Oh, what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do. We will just move straight on to the shooting phase. So, heavy bolters from this going into the Plague Burst Crawler. Hitting you twice. Damn it! Wounding you. No times. I will quickly grab the dice for these guys rapid firing into the Plague Surgeon, and I will pass it over to Mr. Cat.
So, all the shots into the Surgeon, can they bring him down? Hitting on 5, remember.
What? This is outrageous.
Like the crater with all like the crazy ass fumes from the...
Sorry, I just kind of went without
Yeah, I know
permission
that.
there. That many.
Oh, that's not very good. Looking for 2s. Totally fine.
Cool.
After the very short shooting, it is charge phase. Jimmy is going to charge his guardsman into the surgeon, hopefully bringing him down, needing a free...
I will. Win a CP.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just now roll a double 1. Just you watch. Double 1 time!
No,
okay,
7.
Cool, right, I'll move these guys around.
So, what we're hitting on and what we're wounded on, sir?
I think I am hitting you on 4s and wounding you on said 5s. So, here we go. It's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Not enough to kill you, though. Just 2. Oh, for crying out loud!
Play surgeon. He's left on 1 wound. My attacks back. 4 attacks.
No hits. He was failing them bayonets.
What are you doing to me? Right, your tank. We'll do the tanks off camera, and we'll get to Jimmy's final wrap-up of the game.
I could have killed a Plague Surgeon, but I failed. I'm sad. But I could kill him in Kyle's turn, bagging me 3 more points. So with everything, I did score 5 for the primary, I believe. Yeah, 5 for the primary. And I got 2 for engage on all fronts. Oh, what a game this has been. I would love to know the final scores. But Kyle can easily score 15 on this. It just depends on his other secondaries. There we go. I found the word. Right. I think I'm on 39. I do not know Kyle's score.
Kyle doesn't even know his own score.
He doesn't even know. Ooh. Oh, our safety thing keeps falling off, so if we drop the camera, we will smash the screen.
Yeah, but I think I'm on base 18, but then I've got so many secondary points to claw back.
Yeah.
And then obviously with regards to the primary for this one, so it's going to be nail-bitingly close.
If he dies, I might just win this.
Yeah, I think you might.
But he needs that. This is going to finish on 40 to 39, I reckon.
Awfully, painfully close.
But the good thing is you can't really move if you want to guarantee yourself points.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to worry too much, luckily. So, yeah. We will see. Anyway, moving on to your next turn. So I scored 39.
You did.
What did you score, good sir? Did I win? Please tell me I won. No? What did you score?
53.
53? Oh no, he scored 53!
Yeah, obviously we didn't show
Your
my turn because...
Well, we kind of math hammered it beforehand and we're like, there was no way I was winning.
Well, me sitting put...
Scored 15.
15, and then I did spread the sickness with my Terminators, killing one Terminator actually, but bagging me 3 points, and then we just did the guards off camera against the Plague Surgeon. Again, didn't kill him, so maxing out on 15 on the primary. So yeah, it was just, I don't really know. I mean,
for those that turned off after turn 2 thinking that I would blitz it,
yeah,
I didn't.
it's one of them ones where turn 2, I mean, I don't really know if it's across the board, but it's definitely in our games, crunch. It's such a crunch, such a pivotal thing. I mean, if you saw turn 1 with your shooting, and then definitely turn 2 with your popping your Cadia bomb, and you just re-rolling everything, I was just like, no. Definitely Poxwalker's got big, and then I knew the spawns were going to get wiped because they're just too squishy anyway. I was thinking my right flank is absolutely crushed. But again, I roll always really solid with charges. I do fantastic well, and that's where it always pays off.
You're able to shut down everything.
Yeah.
And the Demon Prince was able to just mop it up. Your Lord Contagion was just able to get rid of a Warlord like it was nothing.
The people out there obviously say about the Demon Prince with the wings, like, it's not really worth it, but look at the momentum he could do. Like, you know, if I was a normal guy just plodding along, you just like, he's not going to get anywhere. I could literally pop bases with pretty much a turn, a movement. So, it wasn't a case that I was on one side of the board and I had no way of getting around. I had a lot of fast moving things. I could just get to the sides I need. The drone helping out on the tank, anchoring on that objective there. 2 to the 1 once the guys have gone, and then the Demon Prince swarming over and getting rid of the Chimera, bagging me more points. I mean, fin the ranks, you get a point for every 10 wounded thing, and then you get, obviously, bring it down, you get your 1s and your 2s. So you just start to, a normal tank's 2 points, 3 points for the bigger one. It's like it builds up. I got, really quickly looking down, I got 9 out of 15 for in the ranks, and then I got 10 out of 15 for bring it down. So it's pretty solid. 2/3, and then even with spread the sickness, I got 9. So that's where it really brought my A game with it. It was very aggressive. You just need a risk regards to your whilst we stand, but it's a massive risk anyway. I've done it in the past, and it's paid off. But I was fine with that one. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. But when you're steamrolling it, it just builds that momentum even further. It's a very risky one. Like, there's very little games you get to the end of the game where you've got all your big hitters, unless you've completely trashed them. Generally, you might have the one if you're lucky, but 2 or 3, you have to be proper in a good place to be.
Yeah, well, place. I was thinking about taking Deploy Scramblers for this one, which would only bag me 10. I wish I did that now. I think I'd have been able to score Deploy Scramblers. Easy peasy.
Probably. You had a lot of stuff that sat around kind of you know, you might have lost a bit of shooting, but some of the, you know, you didn't really do much with your las, you know, your las guns. Generally, a few wounds, but then you were shooting multiple wounded things. It's, I think, like, you did a good game. Really, it was just my charges again.
Yeah, shooting down my shooting. Shooting down my shooting. Does that make sense? No, it can make sense.
Shutting down, I guess. Probably
shutting down, not shooting down. Shooting down my shooting.
It just.
But yeah, I don't feel like I played a bad game. At the end of turn 2, I was in a solid position, and you played well.
Yeah.
Like, you were able to take me off objectives that would have denied me the 15 points or 10 points, making me only score 5 on the primary. To be fair, I only took Assassinate because he went, I've got 4 characters.
I know.
And then halfway through the game, I went, You've got 3, haven't you? And he's like, oh yeah, I do. But it doesn't matter. I would have taken probably, I don't know, Raise the Banners, which again I wouldn't have really done much with. I don't think so. Either way, I don't think it would have mattered.
It's just for me, and I know the global pandemic is out there, and obviously the Suez Canal crisis. There's always something going on. 8th edition Codexes is just another. We play enough to really get the gist, and when you're playing against an 8th edition where everything's like, it all affects myself, and you're like, hang about, I don't get that. It's weird. It's a bit of a weird one. I mean, Guard would be very interesting to see where they go with it, like core and all that malarkey, orders and where's it going to go, but
everything's core.
Yeah.
You're in the Imperial Guard.
Everything. Do you know what? Will be far off from the truth, to be fair, because but good game. It's just
well, close in a sense. It was quite close, and the final score did kind of the final turn because of how you now score primaries did take it away.
Yeah.
But nah, I don't feel like I played particularly a bad game.
No.
You played a better game because you won. So, is there anything else more really to say on this? Probably not.
No, but thank you if you watched the end of it.
Yeah. If you have, please put 89 in the comments. That's how we know you've got this far. Please put something else ridiculous in the comments. Make us laugh. That's one thing I want to see. Can somebody get me belly laughing? Yeah. There is a subscribe button right here, so please press that if you're new. And we will see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.
See ya. Playing Violent Intelligence, Strike Force, it is Domination, 15 million points, 50 million tanks. Set up by Thomas. No, I'm not going to say that. Who the fuck's Tom?
For those at home, well, this is definitely going into the bloopers. We have a fly buzzing round, and I got whatever this dirty shit is.
I can smell it now.
It's horrible. This stuff, I don't know. It's pure filth. Like, it's actually called pure. We just need to put filth next to it. It smells like a Chateau de Toilet of, I don't know, some bollocks. So just end the clip.
Terminators, Lord, Demon Prince, Tank. Yep, that's right.
Cool.
Oh, Bloat Drum. Fucking hell, Bloat Drum. Hiya.